Hello, I'm Jo, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video features these painted down brows. I did use an Elmer's glue stick to block them out as I wasn't sure where the mask was going to go and I didn't want to be bothered trying to paint over that hair later. Like always, I'm using a water activated paint from Mehron, and I am going in first by sketching out the general shape that I want the mask on my face to be in. Then I'm going to fill in my face and body with green paint. Once you sufficiently look like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, you know you're headed in the right direction. I'm going in with a lighter green, and I'm using that to highlight my face and body. I'm then jumping right into the contouring. I'm picking up a green shade in my Sugarpill Pro palette as Midori and mixing it with a little bit of a contour shade I have from the Shade and Light Kat Von D palette, just to deepen that shadow a little bit. And we are going to run that in our cheekbones, in our collar, and also, what is that, like the clav? I don't know, so I'm not going to say it. And then I was watching Moana in the background, and you know, I sing along to all of them, but I just cannot ever stop myself from going all out with You're Welcome. You're welcome. And once I am done dancing, I am going to go ahead and fill in the inner part of my mask. For the eyes, I did also go in with that same green color, and I just deepened my crease as well as popped a little bit of yellow from that Sugarpill Pro palette on the lid. And then because the crease was not deep enough for me, I took some of that same contour shade that I used earlier and popped that into my crease. We're adding liquid eyeliner, and then for an added pop of color into the eye look, I am picking up the lime green from the Juvia's Place Zulu palette and popping that right into the inner corner. We actually did the same thing to our lips. I first went in and repainted my lips. While it was still wet, I just tapped in some of that eyeshadow with my fingers. So moving on to the mask, the first thing I'm going to do is fill in that general shape that I sketched out earlier with some brown paint from Mehron. Now, wood is something that is very organic and misshapen, so I didn't want any harsh, clean lines or anything like that into the look. You can see that I kind of made them by picking up an excess amount of product on my brush and then tapping it out. I really like how jagged, sporadic, and organic it makes the branches look. And there was no rhyme or reason to the way that I placed them on my face. I didn't want anything too terribly symmetrical, and I just kind of let my wrist go free and made the branches as I saw fit. Once you're satisfied with your general shape, it is time to go in and do the detail work. Now, as far as painting trees or branches or the wood effect, as I have learned, it is a matter of patience and practice. I don't have like a certain technique other than layering that I went in with a very light brown on top of that. I mixed in some yellow with that and then added a yellowish brownish color until I was satiated with that. And then finally I went in with a almost pure white. I mixed just a hint of brown, so it's like an off-white, almost tannish color, and that was the final level of highlighting. And what I will say is that usually where light hits is where your strongest highlights are going to be. So I definitely made sure to put it like right above my brow bones, and then as far as like individual branches went, I tried to keep the lightness in the middle because ideally they would be rounded. And so that was kind of the method to my madness as far as like where to place highlight. Again, if you're recreating this, as you sit there and play with it, you're gonna see what works for you as far as the overall look. Okay, and just like I mentioned before in a previous video, for every highlight there is going to be a shadow. And so for that, we are picking up a brown color, the same from the base of our mask look, and we're mixing in just a hint of black. Alright, and to really help that effect of the shadow after you go in with the black, I'm going to pick up that same darker green color that I used to contour my cheeks and just further that illusion by roughly blending in a little bit of that color, also mixed with a little bit of that same contour color that we put in our cheek. And that's it for the face. I did decide to do the same thing to part of my body because I felt like it was a little silly to be entirely green. And I skipped a lot of this video because it's more or less the same thing. I find that if you are recreating this would be a great way to continue practicing the technique that you were trying on your face. And so the last thing that we are going to do is take some of these little butterflies, and I am taking Prozaid, which is a medical grade adhesive that I like a lot, and I am using that to apply the butterflies sporadically over my face. I find that this adds a little bit more dimension and just looks really pretty. And that is it for today's video. Don't forget to subscribe if you'd like to be notified when future videos go live here on this channel. If you have not already checked out the Christmas in July mini series, I highly recommend that you go give that a look-see. Thank you guys again so much, and I will see you next time. Bye!